But once white folk woke up one morning and realized, my God, this thing is possible, the scrambling started. Enemies became friends, and friends became enemies, and Republicans crossed Democratic lines, and Democrats secretly crossed Republican lines, trying to stop the Barack movement. There's a talk show that comes on daily from 3 to 7 called the Sean Hannity program. And earlier in the year, Sean Hannity had this movement called Stop the Hillary Express. Now it's called Stop the Barack Express, because it is no longer just a campaign, but it is a movement in and for hope. And so you have white Republicans and white Democrats who are terrified at the reality of having a black man to run this ruined country. And so they got together along with the press, and they decided to set some traps. The first trap was, we will trap him with inexperience. We will talk about his inexperience. Well, he avoided that trap by reminding them it was experience. That has us in the shape we're in. And then they tried another trap, to trap him with his wife Michelle's pride in her country, while conveniently leaving out the word really. When she says, for the first time, I'm really proud of my country, which really means for the first time, I am prouder than I have ever been. Does not mean I've never been proud before, but I'm prouder than I've ever been. Well, now that trap didn't work, and so they tried a Rezio trap. They went back and found that he dealt with a man that is now being indicted and convicted and probably will be sentenced for criminal activity. Well, now that trap did not work. So then they tried another trap. They tried the trap of a Muslim outfit. And they tried to say that he was a closet Muslim. Well, now that trap didn't fit, because they found other presidents who were wearing other costumes from other countries. And so they had to close up that trap. So then they opened up a Louis Farrakhan trap. And so the way to get to that trap, they had to go through his pastor to get through to that trap. And then when he was in a debate with Hillary Clinton, she tried to take advantage of the trap and ask him to use the word reject instead of denounce. Well, Barack, being the blessed brain that he is, he says, okay, fine, I will step aside, I will sidestep this trap, and I'll use whatever word you need me to use, because my father, Moselle, told me there are two things you don't worry about: those things that you have control over and those that you don't. And in that Barack had control over that situation, he was not going to allow the mincing of words to make him fall into a trap. Then they tried another trap called the Hussein is your name trap. Well, now it reminds me of the many traps that they, the scribes and the Pharisees and the Sadducees, set for Jesus to keep him from walking in his royal dignity. You remember the trap of the adulterous woman. Do you stone her or not? You remember the trap that we've been discussing for the last 2 weeks. Who should Jesus have dinner with? And the trap about divorce. Who's divorced legally and who is not. And the trap about should you drink wine, should you not drink wine. And the trap about fasting. Why do you not fast when you ought to fast? And then the trap about should you or should you not work on the Sabbath. And many of those passages include the fact that Jesus knew that they just wanted to trap him. And it was a trap that was set to stop the Jesus movement. Until last week, today's scribes and Pharisees could not find a stain on Obama's strength. They could not find a flaw in his faith or a blemish on his beliefs. Being the desperate, almost went right there. Being the desperate individuals that they are, with time running out, someone came up with the big idea. Well, not someone, I can tell you who it is because he proudly boasts of it. Yeah, Sean Hannity. He boasts of the fact that he came up with the idea to revisit the Farrakhan trap. Widen that trap and hope that Obama, what does the Bible have to say about God damn America? First of all, it is a cussing pun. It sounds as though someone is cussing, but he's not cussing. Because in Mark 16:16, it says, he that believeth and is baptized shall be saved. But he that believeth not shall be damned. That word damned in the Greek is katakrino, which means to give judgment against. It means to judge worthy of punishment. It means to condemn. But most of all, it means by one's good example, they are in the position to render another's wickedness the more evident and censorable. So all Dr. Wright is saying, God condemn America. God judge America. He's saying God, because of his good example and his holiness, is in a position to make America's sin and iniquity more evident. And you should never bless anything that God has condemned. And so I do not concur with the time. I may not concur with the place, but I concur with Dr. Wright. God damn! America finds the guts to prove Jeremiah right wrong. I said my hope and prayer is that America finds the guts to prove Jeremiah right wrong. He said that Obama has been the victim of taxis passing him by. I hope the taxi of opportunity does not pass him by. He says that Obama knows what it feels like to be called a nigger. Well, I'm just hoping that America proves him wrong and does not treat him like a nigger. He said that white folk sent AIDS into the community to contaminate and kill us. Well, I hope he's wrong. And I hope that they don't send political aides to contaminate Barack and condemn him to a political death. Oh, I hope, America, that you prove Jeremiah right wrong.